All right, all right, all right. Welcome back to WMAC Now with your host, Chuck Stevenson, coming at you with a special weekend preview for this weekend, December 20th through the 22nd. Yep, 20th through the 22nd. Three different events going on with ladies' fights to keep an eye out for. Normally, this would be part of my weekly show, the WMMA Scene Report. That's on hiatus for this week and probably won't get it done till late next week, just because of my work in the holiday season. So anyway, let's get down to it. First up at Bellator number 235, aka Bellator Salute to the Troops, in the flyweight division, we have Vida Ortega coming in 5-3, taking on Alejandra Azul Lara, coming in at 8-3. Statistically, Ortega's the older fighter, 32 to Lara's 25. Lara will be the older and rangier fighter, 5 feet 7 inches, 169 centimeters tall, to Ortega's 5 feet 4 inches, 163 centimeters tall. And the reach is in favor of Lara, 69-inch reach, 175 centimeters, to Ortega's 64 inches, 163 centimeters. Okay, so you're looking at these two. Let's look at the records a little bit. So Lara is 2-2 in Bellator. She debuted choking out Lena Chinikova. Got an immediate title shot off of that. Lost to Ilima McFarland via armbar in a pretty good fight. And then she went to a split decision against Juliana Velasquez, who's, in my opinion, is the rightful number one contender. And then is now coming off a win over Taylor Turner, which was definitely a tune-up fight for her. Then you got Ortega. She made her debut with Bellator back. Let's see. So she made her debut back in Bellator 155 in 2016. Got a decision there. Lost to Anastasia Yankova, and I think that was a controversial fight too. Beat Brooke Mayo, who was making her pro debut. That's not much. Lost a split to Bruna Ellen. Then she picked up a win over Ducote, Emily. And then a win over Denise Kielholtz, who was 2-1 at the time. And now most recently came off that doctor stoppage loss to Ilima McFarland back in April. Probably McFarland's toughest, really a very tough fight for McFarland. She was, having trouble with dealing with Ortega's, being unorthodox and proving harder to take down than what most initially thought. So this is a very interesting fight. Lara would be the cleaner striker. Ortega throws with a lot of power, but she's not the most accurate, and she's not the most technical of strikers. I would say Lara has the more submission skills, but Ortega is harder to take down. To me, this one is very up in the air. It's a toss-up. I think it's going to come down to who's hungrier. Personally, I'm going with Alejandra Lara. And I think that's what Bellator probably wants too. They want to keep Ortega away from McFarland again. So we're going with Alejandra Lara. And that's Friday night. Saturday morning, early Saturday morning, on the early prelims for UFC on ESPN Plus 23, aka UFC Fight Night Busan. This is coming from Korea. At flyweight, Amanda Lemos 6-1-1, taking on Miranda Granger 7-0. Let's see, we have Lemos is the older fighter, 32 years, to Granger's 27. Lemos last fought at bantamweight. Granger last fought flyweight. Now, I mentioned this is a flyweight, but I believe the ESPN and UFC sites have this at strawweight, so both are moving down weight classes. Granger's the taller fighter, 5 feet 7 inches, 170 centimeters, to Lemos's 5 feet 4 inches, 163 centimeters, and Granger will also have a reach advantage. 68 inches, 173 centimeters, to Lemos's 65 inches, 165 centimeters. Let's see. So Lemos actually hasn't fought in a while. Like 2.5 years. She's coming off her UFC debut in a loss to Leslie Smith via standing elbow, TKO. Granger's coming in off a successful UFC debut 4 months ago to Hannah Goldie, who was undefeated at the time. What I've seen out of each of these, I'm not too impressed by either of them. Not really impressed at all. Granger tends to defend strikes with her chin way up and out. Lemos has some decent combinations there. I'm not making a pick on this one. To me, it's a real toss-up. I mean, Granger definitely has the advantage in that she's been more active. I mean, like at least 5 fights since Lemos' last one. So you know what? Yeah, we'll go with Granger on this one. I'll make the pick. We'll go with Granger due to activity. And then that takes us to Bellator Hawaii, aka Bellator 236. 2 ladies fights on the main card. First up, Juliana Velasquez, 9-0, taking on Bruna Ellen at 5-2 in the flyweight division. Velasquez coming off a win over Christina Williams due to TKO 4 months ago. Bruna Ellen coming off a win over Elena Calianado via unanimous decision. Looks like that was the same card. Velasquez is the older fighter, 33 to Ellen's 23. She'll be the taller fighter, 5 feet 6 inches, 167 centimeters, to Ellen's 5 feet 3 inches, 160 centimeters. Don't have a reach available for Bruna Ellen. Velasquez is listed at 67.5 inches, 171 centimeters for reach. For me, this is actually an easy one to pick. Velasquez just does everything that Ellen does, but better, cleaner. She's fought tougher competition to me than Ellen has. Velasquez beat Christina Williams, finished Christina Williams, who Bruna Ellen lost a decision to. I think this is just, it's an easy one to pick here. Don't have odds on the fight from Tapology, but to me this one is all about Velasquez. And then finally in the main event, flyweight championship, the defending champion Lee Malay, the Eliminator McFarland, 10-0, taking on Kate Jackson, 11-3-1. Of course, Lee Malay is undefeated. Jackson coming off 2 straight wins over Anastasia Yankova and Lena Ovchinnikova, respectively. Jackson's the older fighter, 33 years to McFarland's 29. She's the taller fighter, 5 feet 6 inches, 168 centimeters, to McFarland's 5 feet 4 inches, 163 centimeters. And the reach difference is pretty negligible. 67 inches, 170 centimeters for Jackson to 66.5 inches, 169 centimeters for McFarland. So here's the thing about this fight. Jackson, I would say, is by far the better striker. I mean, you don't beat Yankova and Ovchinnikova by being bad striking. McFarland, it's just never been impressive with her striking. She's always been all about getting her opponents to the ground and submitting them. I mean, before the Ortega fight, her last 4 wins were by submission. So we all know what Ilima McFarland's going in there to do: get the takedown and submit her. This could easily come down to, how much has Jackson been working on her takedown defense? Don't know. I'm going to have to do some more tape study because I am going to do a full preview on this, hopefully get it done tonight or tomorrow night. The odds are definitely in favor of McFarland. I mean, just looking at Tapology on the community predictions. 283 predictors. Only 3% going to Jackson, 97% to McFarland. Most of it by submission. So, can Jackson pull off the upset? Sure, it's MMA. Anything can happen in MMA. Is it likely to happen? Probably not. Is Jackson, a world? Is she, an elite tier? No. Is McFarland? Seems to be. And most importantly, is Bellator going to book McFarland in her home state of Hawaii, where they're expecting her to sell most of the tickets? Are they going to give her a fight that there's a serious risk of loss for her? I really, really doubt it. So it's no slight on Jackson. It's just Ilima McFarland is the rightful favorite, and that's who I'm taking to win here. And then hopefully, if Velasquez and McFarland get through, hopefully that will be the fight that has been the fight to make. That should have been the fight last year in Hawaii. And then McFarland fought again, and it wasn't Velasquez. And now she's fighting one more time. It's not Velasquez. So eventually Bellator is going to have to quit hiding McFarland from Velasquez. She is the rightful number one contender in this division that is very weak and shallow, honestly. That is the fight to make. There's just no other fight to make after this. Anyway, that's my picks for the weekend. Now, little disclaimer here. Do not bet money based on my predictions. Please do not. I don't bet. I'm not a gambler like that. I don't gamble on anything that I can't help. I don't have a little bit of a hand in the outcome. So, if I'm throwing craps, yes, I'll put money down. Blackjack, I can make the decision. These are out of my hands, so I don't bet. That's my reasoning for not betting on fights. So, don't lay money down based on my picks. Please. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the fights in the comments down below. Likes always appreciated. And if you haven't, then what are you waiting for? Subscribe to WMMA Scene Now, the best, fastest growing women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications so you know what's going on. And we'll see you next time.